Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. For those that are joining us for the first time, my name is Mboi. I'm a nurse, I work and live in UK. I've been in UK for 2 years. In this channel we talk about migration, traveling, nursing and everything else. If you're interested, please go back to watch my other videos, subscribe and enjoy everything. Today we are going to talk about job hunting, how we can apply one particular social theory. Is it social or is it psychological theory? Yes, it's a psychological theory, one by Abraham Maslow. So stay tuned. Okay, before we get into this psychological theory, I want to give you my background, and this is why I wanted to do the videos on this theory. I grew up in a rural area. I was raised by my grandparents. I lost my parents when I was still very young, and I was raised by my grandparents and my parents' siblings. Basically, I was raised by everyone. So I attended different schools as a result, and that, I think, affected my mathematics. I already was struggling with maths, and changing schools then exacerbated that, and I did not perform well in my final year and at tertiary, at high school. Now, I attended 3 schools before I can go to college. That is primary school, where I did my standard 1 up to standard 7. I also went to a secondary level school where I did my Form A up to Form C, and then I changed to another school where I did my Form D and my Form E. And then my results were not really good. So I have a perspective then. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't have a perspective. I didn't know that I need to push more with mathematics. This brings me to you parents. If you have children, or if you have anyone that you are taking care of, or you are a guardian, or you are a mother, you have to make sure that you watch your children. You need to know what they like, what they love, and guide them towards that into a career. Because had I known that I need to perform well in mathematics, I think I would have put more pressure in my studies towards mathematics more than any other thing, because I was struggling only with mathematics. All other subjects I got my credits, but with mathematics it was a pass and it was bad. Then I applied for university. In that during that time when I was applying for university, that's where the problem came. I didn't want to be a nurse, but I actually applied to be a nurse. Like, how do you do that? Before I became a nurse, I worked in the factories because I was not admitted in any university, any college that I applied for. I applied for 6 institutions. I applied for in National University of Lesotho. I applied in Lesotho College of Education. I applied in Lesotho Polytechnic, Limpopo, National Health Training College. I also applied in South Africa, one institution that was called MSc College. So I had 6, but none of those I was admitted. So that gap year that I had to work. I worked in the factories where we were manufacturing shirts for Mr. Price. And then the following year, I got admission in Limpopo. To date, I still don't even remember what course I had applied for and which one I was admitted to go and study in Limpopo. I went for orientation. During orientation day, orientation was supposed to be 2 days. The first orientation day, we were waiting for someone to attend to us at the gate. So around that area, there are street vendors. There is a lady that I was sitting next to who was selling fat cakes, and she was listening to Radio Lesotho. And in Radio Lesotho, I think to date, National Health Training College is still submitting the admissions to Radio Lesotho for them to air the admissions. So I was sitting next to this lady and I had my name mentioned. Guess what I did? I left that place. That was orientation day 1. I left everything and I went to NHTC. This shows you that I really lacked perspective. I was already at an orientation in a university. That was very new, fairly new. The NMDS was supporting all students then. So I left. I went to NHTC the very same day to collect my admission letter. And unfortunately, I thought I was admitted as a general nursing student, but instead I was admitted as a nursing assistant student because of mathematics again. So I went to study nursing assistant for 2 years, then went back to work. After working, I went back to do general nursing, and then after general nursing, I did midwifery, and then I worked. After working as a nurse midwife, I wanted to work in Bahamas or USA. Those are the places that I had told myself that if I leave Lesotho, I'm going to work in USA or Bahamas. Those are my favorite places. But guess what? I'm in UK. So this shows that we lack motivation, we lack perspective. So I decided to read more on this theory of Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow is a psychologist that was based in USA. He's an American psychologist, and he has a hierarchy of needs theory that is presented by a pyramid, triangular pyramid, and it has 5 levels. With the 5 levels, the bottom ones are the most important one, and the upper one that is at the peak of the pyramid is less important. But all of these 5 elements complement each other. And I used this to look into job hunting process. If when you use the hierarchy of needs into and apply it into job hunting, if you want to work abroad, not only abroad, even when you are still in your country, but I know in Lesotho it won't work. It will not work because we take everything that we are offered. If you don't take it, then they won't even negotiate. Now, that's why I said, okay, let me create a series where I will be going level by level and see how we can apply hierarchy of needs in job hunting if you want to work abroad. Not only when you are a nurse, even if you are not a nurse, but you can apply this hierarchy of needs to motivate yourself to be able to have a direction and have a perspective, a clear perspective on what you want to do abroad, where you want to live. Like, you need to know. So this is what we are going to do. I have a series that is already recorded. Please do watch all of it, and it will help you. Maybe it will help you see where you are going wrong. If you are already in this process of becoming a nurse abroad and you are failing at getting a job, it might be because you are not reflecting properly. So today we are going to touch on physiological needs, which is level 1 at the bottom of the pyramid, where we are going to talk about physiological needs as explained by Abraham Maslow. Number 1, what are the physiological needs that are entailed in that theory? Physiological needs are explained as basic needs, those that you cannot live without. This is shelter, food, water, rest. These are essential things that you need to survive. If you don't have them, you won't survive. And in the theory, when you read further, it says if the first level is not fulfilled, the other following levels will be ignored. It makes sense. How are you going to be able to love someone when you don't have shelter? Already you hate yourself that you don't have anywhere to live. Will you be able to love the other person? So Maslow hierarchy of needs has 5 levels. It's physiological needs, it's safety, love and belonging, esteem, and then self-actualization. The bottom one, which is physiological needs, are the essential things that you need to survive. So if you are planning to work abroad, those are the most important things that you need to apply on. If you are applying for a job, you need to consider the basic needs, whether you'll be able to fulfill them abroad. Will you have shelter? Will you have proper rest? Is the area you're going to have water and sanitation? Do they have the job that you are willing to take? Will it allow you to rest? So those are the main things. How are you going to make sure that you fulfill all this? Number one is the location. United Kingdom is a huge country. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but they say it's Great Britain. It's United Kingdom and it's Great Britain. I don't know. It's still confusing me too. But UK is comprised of 4 countries. It's Wales, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. So with these 4 countries, there are territories and demarcation of landmarks where you know that in this particular area, it's expensive. In this particular area, it's a countryside, it's not expensive. In this area, it's suburbs. In this area, there is too much commercial things going around. There are theaters, there are this and that. So don't be lazy. When you're job hunting, do not be lazy. Research. Make a lot of research. Are you going to be able to find accommodation in the location you are looking into? When you apply for a job, make sure that the job application you send to the areas is the area that you'll be able to have accommodation. In this way, how much will the rent cost you for you to put a shelter over your head? How much is the cost of living? Are the groceries too expensive in that area? How much are you going to earn per year? So that you can be able to calculate the amount of money that you will receive monthly to cover your monthly expenses. Do you have to pay for water? Do you have to pay for electricity? Do you have to pay for social, council tax? Are you paying for gas? Or your employer is going to offer you a location where you will be staying at? Those are the things that you need to take into consideration when you apply for a job. Now you've made your research and you are satisfied that this post that I have applied for, I will be able to find where I will rent. During interview, employers will be asking questions. Afterwards, they will give you a chance for you to ask. Use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to ask your questions during interviews. In this way, in the physiological needs, it says you need food to survive, you need shelter to survive, you need rest to survive, you need water to survive. Those are things that you can formulate questions on. Ask your employer, will you be offering me a place to live? Some of the employers in UK, they give you a place to live until you get your own where you will be renting. So by the time you come into the country, you are not stranded. Ask that question. The other question is, if you have not been told how much you will be earning, you can ask, how much am I going to get paid for the job that I will be doing? And then compare with your research that, okay, the cost of living is okay, and the salary is this much, I think I'll be able to survive. Ask questions whether in the workplace you are offered food, or there are vouchers that are subsidized for employees to buy food in that particular area. Those are some of the questions that you can ask using Maslow's theory to fulfill what? Your basic needs at the place of work before you can even accept that offer. Employers, sometimes they don't look into how you answer questions. They also look into common sense, whether you'll be able to work independently by the way you ask questions during interview. So if you fumble, then you will not get that job. So it's not only about you putting up a CV, being called for interview. It's also about how you present yourself, how you ask questions. So sit down, read, make sure that you come up with questions, valid questions that will fulfill your physiological needs as you take up a new job in a new country. Okay? Another thing that you need to ask is the working hours. In UK, there are minimum working hours stipulated by NHS and care homes. Normally, a band 5 nurse is contracted 37.5 hours in NHS. But in some care homes, you find that you are contracted 36 hours or between 36 hours and 48 hours per week. So this translates to something like 3 days or 4 days in a week. So you'll be working 4 days and resting 3 days. So this means the physiological need, rest, is covered. But also, you also need to make sense out of the rest period, whether it's appropriate. Because you might find that you work Monday, you rest Tuesday, you work Wednesday, you rest Thursday. You get, like, it's not balancing. You can ask your employer or your prospective employer to give you a skeleton, an overview of how you will be taking up your shifts, which days, or how they place the hours spread across the week, so that you'll be able to weigh whether you'll be able to rest. Because let me tell you, burnout is a serious disease. If you suffer from burnout, you can just drop and die because of exhaustion. We work 12 hours, and in those 12 hours, you are actively working. At some point, you are delayed to go on for your breaks at work because you need to attend to those people that you are caring for. And if you have been working for the past 3 days and then you get overworked on the 4th day, exhaustion will hit you and you will die on the spot. There are lots and lots on YouTube. If you go and read or watch, people are dying because of exhaustion. So you have to put it into direction, know exactly how your rota will look like in a normal day or in a normal week. And with that rest, you can also try to find out if you want to progress career-wise, if you want to go back to school, will you be able to get more work for school work and still work at the same time? Also reminding yourself that you will also be taking care of your family, your children, your spouse, and all that. So the Maslow's theory is based on motivation and is motivating people to take care of themselves and be able to guide their perspective into what they really want in life. Most of us, we follow hypes. We just don't know what we want. Some of us are regretting why they are here. There are lots and lots of people who are reaching out to me because I'm on YouTube. I talk too much. They are reaching out that they are regretting for coming here because things are expensive. Where they live, rent is expensive. It takes up half of their salary, only rent. So when you come here, if you want to come abroad, make research. Do not be lazy. If you are lazy, don't even start the journey of going abroad, because trust me, things change every now and then, and if you don't read, you will be stranded. People are reaching out, but they don't want to be in front of the camera to tell their stories, but they are reaching out. Some are even going home. They are resigning and going back to Lesotho silently. Just because we are following hypes, we lack perspective, we don't know what we are doing. So let us use Abraham Maslow to guide us and be able to make proper decisions for future. In my next video, we are now going to talk about how to secure financial stability using Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. Bye. Thank you very much for watching this video thus far. I'll see you next time. Bye.